The MG HS enters its second generation with a redesign, interior revamp, and more technology. In its century-long history, MG has launched several cars that changed the face of the company. Cast your mind back to the MGB, deemed by many to be the first modern MG, and to the MGF, which revitalized the brand's sporting image. The MG HS SUV hasn't quite institutionalized itself in quite the same way, but the Chinese-owned brand is pinning its hopes on the model's continued success here in the UK. It has even described this new second-generation version as the most important car it has ever launched. Arriving 6 years after its predecessor, the new HS brings a complete exterior design overhaul, a heavily updated interior and a suite of technology updates, all of which, MG hopes, will cement the car's position as an alternative value option in the ever-competitive B segment. MG sees the HS as a rival to the more expensive Ford Kuga, Hyundai Tucson and Nissan Qashqai. It usefully undercuts those cars, with a starting price of £24,995. Design and styling. The redesigned HS shares many of its visual cues with the new MG3 Hybrid Super Mini, including slimmer headlights and a revised front grille. Changes at the rear introduce a new light bar and reworked bumpers. MG offers the HS with 5 colors: black, white, gray, silver, and red. The MG badge moves from the center of the grille onto the bonnet and takes a more flattened look in line with the brand's new design ethos. The car's stature has also grown. The MK2 HS is 30 mm lower, 26 mm longer and 14 mm wider than its predecessor, while its wheelbase increases 45 mm to 2,756 mm. The interior. The larger dimensions of the MK2 car lay the foundation for passengers to enjoy a practical, airy cabin. The dashboard also looks reasonably premium, adorned with soft touch and leather-like materials, although closer inspection reveals they're more of a plastic nature, as you would expect at this price point. There's also generous space for tall passengers in the front and rear, and the boot measures a respectable 507 liters, 44 liters more than the previous car. It's also notably more capacious than the Kuga, 412 liters, but beaten hands down by the Tucson, 620 liters. A 12.3 inches digital driver's display is paired with a 12.3 inches touchscreen infotainment system. Both are clear to read and responsive, but they're also a source of frustration. They house the MG Pilot Assisted Driving System, which is included as standard. Some functions work intuitively, such as adaptive cruise, but the driver awareness monitor, which uses a camera mounted on the A-pillar to track the driver's eye movements, is far too reactive. Take your eyes off the road for a split second, for example, to look at the infotainment, speedometer, or even when you're looking back to reverse, and it will warn you to keep your eyes on the road. It's an unnecessary distraction, though it can be switched off, albeit only temporarily, as it reactivates itself whenever you restart the car. Engines and performance. The MG range opens with a 1.5-liter turbocharged petrol engine, which produces 168 brake horsepower and 203 pounds-foot. It's not as quick as the PHEV, reaching 62 miles per hour in 9.4 seconds, but this engine is nevertheless responsive and quiet around town. A 6-speed manual transmission is standard, though our car was equipped with MG's 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. In general, it's a responsive box and, if anything, is let down by the engine's disappointing mid-range performance. The lack of shove is accompanied by a gruff engine note. Once you're up to cruising speeds, though, with less being asked of the engine, progress becomes more serene. The PHEV, meanwhile, allows an electric-only drive. It accelerates from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 6.8 seconds and comes with a 24.7 kilowatt-hour battery. That's quite a sizable unit, and it returns a class-leading 75 miles of electric range. Few cars in the segment come close to that figure, with the Kuga and Tucson offering fewer than 45 miles on a charge. In use, the PHEV's additional power is welcome and deals with the extra weight of the battery well. The transition between electric and petrol power is pretty seamless. The engine kicks in with little noise too, which makes for a more relaxing drive, and we can confirm that MG's predicted range of 75 miles is accurate when driven with care. MPG and running costs. An eye-catching HS selling point is its hyper-competitive price, which starts from £24,995, while the PHEV begins at £31,495. For those prices, both specifications that MG offers, SE and Trophy, are well equipped, with Trophy including 19 inches wheels, a powered tailgate, a 360 degrees reversing camera and wireless smartphone charging. Its rivals are more expensive. The Peugeot 3008 costs almost £10,000 more, for instance, and the Qashqai in its most basic form starts from just over £30,000, as does the Tucson, at £32,000. The PHEV lands in the 5% benefit in kind band, but we're not quite convinced it will be the option that people choose when there are arguably more desirable plug-in hybrids available. While the new MG HS is more affordable than its rivals, it's not quite as good to drive. Its handling, ride comfort and performance in petrol form are generally bettered by rivals, such as the Qashqai and the Tucson. We have to chalk that up as a disappointment, given that MG has previously shown that it knows how to make a car that's quietly satisfying to drive. However, if you're after a well-equipped, robust family SUV with practicality at heart, it's certainly one for the shortlist. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more exciting car reviews.